Hello there, welcome to the channel. Today, revisiting the lost world of Caprica and one of the, shall we say, toaster ancestors. Now, Caprica, as we know, was one of the tribes of men, the 12 colonies created after the fall of Cobol. Caprica is in some ways seen by the colonials, maybe not universally, and is perhaps a contentious opinion, but is somewhat the default capital of the colonies. It appears to be one of the most progressed and technologically sophisticated of all the colonies, with others having a reputation for being more agrarian or religious and superstitious. So, Caprica seems to be the most modern in many regards. It's also one of the most capitalist and corporate of all of these, with a great dichotomy between the wealthy and the haves and the not so wealthy and the have-nots, with an obvious disparity of technology and availability of resources between these two groups. We see, for example, the police are pretty much using typewriters, while Greystone and his family have personal robot servants. Now, of course, the Cylons, before their rebellion, would equalize this somewhat, revitalizing the workforce and becoming important, if oppressed, members of human society. But before the Cylons, we had a small service robot, although we don't know its exact classification. We do know the one that Greystone had was called Serge. Now, Serge was approximately 4 feet tall and appeared to be able to remote operate many of the facilities and operational sides of the home. Basically, his home was a tech home. It was a modern home, basically. Everything in it could be remote operated, the doors, other things, and Serge could control all of that, as it was an interlinked system. Basically, it was an Alexa on wheels. A small machine, fairly simplistic in its general outward design, kind of looked like a Skittle, but with its wireless controls of many of the systems in the house, does seem to have been an incredibly efficient design. Now, of course, it's nothing compared to what a Cylon will be capable of doing, as it lacked a humanoid body and couldn't manipulate its environment in the same way that a Cylon or a human would be able to do. However, in my opinion, it's a far superior servant than the Cylon because it didn't go genocidal and try and wipe out its creators. That being said, there were certain key technological similarities. You can see the progression from this machine into the Cylons. Some of its logic circuitry, the way that it is programmed to serve, but also in particularly one area, its optical scanner. We see a combat variant of this, used purely for training as far as we can tell, with the first Cylon, the U-87. This combat variant was equipped with flanking autocannons of some kind that were retractable, but it also had the same laser eye sensor that a Cylon would be equipped with, which is definitely a direct evolution of that technology into the Centurions, and was great to see this, what is a logical, natural progression. That the Cylon technology didn't come out of nowhere. For a start, the Colonials, this shows that they had no problem building machines. The Cylon's body was never a work in progress. Greystone had that down. They could build a functional humanoid machine, they just couldn't do the brain. And as a result, the body was just never up there. Now, Serge, and his ilk were the equivalent of a less evolved mind. A more simplistic machine designed to do much more simplistic tasks. It wasn't capable of problem solving or thinking tactically, particularly. It was just capable of following set commands and programs and was fairly basic in that regard. It was a basic AI. But functionally, to control a Cylon body and really interact with its environment, you needed to be more intelligent. And that's where the cybernetic life form node came in. It would eventually evolve, of course, into the Cylon. But this small machine shows how advanced the colonies were, and again shows that disparity between the rich and the poor, because the looks on the faces of the people when they walk into Greystone's house and they see this robot butler, this fully automated home, and all the other capabilities. Clearly a machine probably produced by Greystone Industries that seemed to be in a robotics manufacturing firm. I can imagine this technology became somewhat disliked in the fall of the Cylon War, but again, it shows that the colonies were we're on their way clearly to making the Cylons, that there was this natural progression of technology, one we see around us today, where we see robot dogs, robot police, we see automated drones, AI, chat GPT, constantly evolving, parallel to one another, but aiming for the same trajectory, because it's only a matter of time before someone sticks chat GPT into a body. And let's face it, that person's probably going to be Elon Musk, who's already building the robots, so, get ready to welcome our robot overlords, I guess. But back in Caprica, we again see this, and these robots were very cool to me. And my opinion, they should have just stopped there. Right? You had your little robot, stop there. Even in a tactical sense, you could have used those as robot sentries to guard installations or military facilities. You didn't need to evolve it into the Cylon, which of course was a much more formidable and capable warrior. But what do you guys think? Do you love these little machines? Do you think they were as cute and as adorable as I kind of think they were? And would you want one? I mean, knowing what they evolve into, I mean, they're not there yet. Gotta wonder how the Cylons saw them. Did the Cylons see them as like a little pet? Like, oh, well, we've killed demons, but we're gonna keep it. Oh, it's so cute, like a puppy to them. Or did they see it more like an ancestor? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Even if you've seen Caprica, actually, because it's kind of the underdog of the Battlestar Galactica universe. I do recommend it if you've not. I know that, at least in the UK, it's currently available for streaming on Amazon. Although, annoyingly, Battlestar Galactica is not. Except for the original series. Kind of. But, with that said, please like, share, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video and you are having a wonderful day today. And we are now at the end of this video. Bye-bye.